Hi YouTube friends, hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, but us in Cape Town is really chilly about us. You can see winter is upon us, and yeah, it's just been June has been not such a busy month at the office, although there was lots happening at our side. And I think July, at the beginning of July, we managed to finish all our pay as you earn and stuff for this month. And I think the big thing happening this month is the tax returns, and I'm still checking to see whether I want to release maybe a video on the tax returns for 2022. There's been some changes in terms of the auto assessments, and I think that is quite a hot topic at the moment, so I might release a video. I see there's one or two other guys that's already done videos on it, so I'm in two minds whether or not to do it. And yeah, because just the way that the system works changed a little bit, and there's something that's a little bit, you can almost say scary, that we need to be aware of. So those guys doing the tax returns, please make sure that if you get emails or notices from SARS, to go check out and see what's happening there, because if they issue you with the auto assessment, the challenge is you only have 40 days to either accept it, or they don't even need to accept it, they've already given you the assessment. So if you want to change anything, you only have 40 days to do it. If you miss the deadline, then ching, they lock that thing and that's it. You won't be able to do anything to it. And so where the issue lies is that they've been giving auto assessments with cars with travel allowances, cars in previous years that had rental properties and stuff like that. They're issuing these cars with these auto assessments, and it's bad, it's not good. Because now you have to go in to fix it up. 40 days is the deadline. The deadline for personal tax is actually only end of October, but it's putting a lot of pressure on everybody to get it out sooner. But that's not the reason for our discussion today. So we're going to be talking about the June questions. So let's give it a bash. Nuri, yeah, thanks for always chatting to me and doing comments and stuff on my channels. I really love it. So says, thank you for the tutorials. I have a question regarding purchase orders. I know how to create it, and after I have invoiced a supplier, I go back and the purchase order reads as outstanding. How do I action it? That does not show outstanding. I hope my question makes sense. So I just double check it quickly. We just drag it over to the side. So if I go, I'm just on the demo company over here. So if I add a purchase order, and I'm just going to say that I'm making a purchase order for that car. Let's say, for instance, we are selecting this item over here, and then we said that we're making a purchase order for 100 of those ones, and I'll say save. Then you can see that my purchase order lies over there under purchase orders, and you can see that it shows overdue. You can see this one over here shows invoice. So what you need to do is on the right hand side, let me just move myself out of the way, let me put myself that side. You can see on the little drop down over there, you've got the thing that says create invoice. So now it's asking you whether you want to create the invoice from the purchase order. You say yes, opens up the screen. Let's say, for instance, instead of 100 units, I can only get 90 units from my supplier. If I hit save, then it obviously processes the supply invoice. But now, if I go back to my supplier purchase order, then you can see that at the moment it shows as invoiced, you see. So then everything is cool. So I'm not sure 100% why you would say that it's showing as outstanding. So I think that's maybe just a short answer to your question over there. So just go double check whether you're following that process correctly. Then Jasper, hey, my friend, this guy, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been on YouTube today. And yeah, it's such an inspiration. Go check out his channel. The guys that hasn't checked out Jasper Basson, this guy is a rock star when it comes to videos. Paul Grubber would like to see the same conversation with people working temporary overseas and then returning to South Africa. Expat tax, non-resident tax confirmation letters. That is a good idea to maybe do that. But if you had to reach out to these guys with the expat tax, Thomas Loban or Victoria Lansfield, those are the two guys that I did the interviews with, and I know that you can get a consultation with them for free. And they do their first consultation free. So just reach out to the guys, go check out their website, Tax Consulting South Africa, and pop them a message over there. Like I said, ask if you can speak to Thomas or Victoria. I know that they've got like a whole team of guys there, but they will gladly answer the questions that you've got there. Cool. Let's quickly check here. The SARS system. Things, I'm trying to get a tax compliance PIN to give my South African bank. I've started to enter the details for appointment. A mobile number has been accepted, but I do not have any other phone to insert. I'm living in the UK. Can you advise? If you're living overseas, it is an issue to make those appointments. I saw that some of the other guys also living overseas are having issues. Although my registration was accepted, there are problems, so we'll have to resubmit my documents. I can't get any further again. I don't pay tax on my widow's pension and will not receive money until this completed. Many thanks in anticipation. Yes, so Maureen, I think the best thing would be is to contact these guys again at Tax Consulting SA. They work with foreign nationals all the time. That is what they do for a living. Me, like I said, I'm a general tax practitioner, but people working overseas is not something that I specialize in. So maybe just reach out to them, have a chat with them, and see if they can't help you to get that tax compliance been sorted out for you. I think it's going to be the easiest because, like I said, they do it every single day. Philip, what's the main? Updating the self-representative, 2 ways explained. Yeah, so that's a really cool little video over there. A lot of people are having issues with that. With the tax to link companies, which is a bit of a nightmare. Jacqueline, I think I've already answered your question, but just quickly see. This one does not work. It keeps asking me for your tax number. Cannot hit submit. Your sample form is very different. So I think it might be that you're actually busy with the wrong form. So you can see this one says, what is my tax number? And on this form over here, it doesn't actually ask for the tax number because that's the reason why I did it. So it might just be that you were just busy on the wrong link over there, you see. Nodu, can you please assist in registering a personal liability company for law firms? Yes, reach out to the guys that register company.co.za. The girl's name is Charlize. You can speak to them. They'll definitely be able to sort you out for that registration. Quick. Ashley, on the W turnover video. This was so cool to speak to Elmo. These guys are on next level. The best way to about going trade with Forex as a company is to lower my tax. Should I be looking at registering a sole trader as a company? It would be doing it on my own and not have anyone working for me. My advice, any advice you can share on this, please. Thank you in advance. Keep up the good content. Thanks, Ash. Forex. I would say that if you want to use a company to lower the tax, then you got to be careful because then you're going to obviously ask a lot of questions about that. And that is quite a specialized field if you're trading with Forex. So I would suggest that you maybe reach out to auditors because auditors are like specialists when it comes to accounting stuff and they're going to give you the best advice there of which structure to use, whether the company would be the most beneficial. Forex, once again, I've got limited theoretical knowledge about trading in Forex. I had some companies that I dealt with a couple of years ago that were in share trading and stuff like that. But the problem with that is that the legislation changes the whole time because you're working with a moving target. So 1 year, you'll give the guys this advice, they will follow it. Next year, SARS goes and changes the legislation. Then everything that he did in the previous years was wrong. Even if you had to look at trusts, there was a lot of changes. So I personally don't work with Forex companies and people that are working with shares and stuff. I refer them over to auditors because they're going to be the best bet. They work with it on a daily basis. Yeah, so maybe reach out to some auditors. I've got connections with the guys at PKF in Cape Town, so you can always reply. I'll send you the details as well. But if you just had to go search, if you go say PKF Cape Town, then let's quickly see the one that I've got. The one is the one in Constantia Valley. There's the phone number over there. The guy that I need to speak to is Kobus Nel. He's one of the directors there. He's definitely going to be able to give you the best advice on that one over there. And normally with them as well, they also don't charge for the first consultation. So yeah, just reach out to the guy. So you got the number from me and see what it comes from it. Yeah. 3 ways to grow a business. Brenda? Yes, this is really, really cool. I think this 3 ways to grow the business was a really nice little talk that I just did in the spur of a moment. But I think if you want to get a lot of value, then you must look at this one that I did with Elmo, where we're talking about doubling your turnover in 45 minutes. That was an amazing video. You will definitely enjoy that one if you enjoyed that video. Mfundo, let's quickly see. If finding details, please share your address. I owe a bottle of 25-year-old whiskey. Hey, man, that's really, really cool. I really enjoy the compliment. If you want to send me the bottle of whiskey, I don't drink, but maybe Biltong would be really lovely. But thanks for the offer. I really, really appreciate it. Things like this is what keeps me going with the videos. Rendered useless. No, come on. Change the name. Nobody is useless. How does income tax work in South Africa? Based off my current salary and some online calculations I use that I'm paying less than 18% on the taxpayers union basis, please could you explain how this works? My salary is about 180,000 a year, and I'm assuming that'd be 18% flat rate per month, but the bracket of 18. No. So what happens is, remember that you get a rebate of about. Let's quickly see. If I had to go say tax rates, that everybody gets a rebate or a discount on their tax. You see, so even if you had to say that you earn 100,000 rand, you can see that there's a tax table, so from 1 to 226, 18%, but everybody gets a rebate or a discount on that tax. So if you work on 100,000 rand, it works out 18% would be 18,000 rand. But you see over here, they talk about this rebate or discount that they give you. So if you earn 100,000 rand, they first deduct the 16,000 rand of that 18,000, and the difference is what you got to pay. And that's the reason why it works out to a lower tax rate. You see, the calculator that we use is quite often is called Your Tax. So with this one, you can go double check it quickly. If you're not 100% sure, you see whether your pay slips and stuff is done correctly. So this is a little calculator if it loads. Yeah, we're waiting for load shedding to start here, but so it's going to start at 12 o'clock, so I've got 15 minutes. Yeah, so where are you guys based? How's the load shedding been there by you? Let me just quickly pause this video, just wait for it to start. There we go. Yeah, so you can do a yearly calculation. So you'll see that if you had to say that this is for 1 year and you earn 100,000 rand, 1, 2, 3, and you say calculate, then you can see here's the yearly one. Is it loading? Is it loading? And then you can see for the year, come. Yes, and then you can see for the full year, it works out to 2,286 rand. The reason being is they take 100,000 rand, work out 18% on that amount would be 18,000 rand. There's the rebate, gives you the lower amount, and that's the reason. So if you're earning 100,000 rand per year, 8,000 rand, then the tax is going to be like $200. So that's the reason why the tax rate is a bit lower than the standard 18%. Luckily, otherwise we would have been paying a lot of extra tax. Quick to see, workman compensation. Yeah. So, workman compensation, you can maybe just Google it. We use a lady for our workman compensation returns. If you had to go to my website, the SA Accounting Network, and or for the registration, if you go to this retrenchment, you see there's a lady over here. There's contact details, Tanya Bushma. She does all our workman compensation registrations. Reach out to her. She's going to be able to give you the best advice on that one. Yeah, workman compensation is a bit of a nightmare. As quick as you see, income tax for companies, 95,000 rand. I actually want to redo this video because obviously the tax rates change, so all those figures did change. So that was obviously 2020, so it was a couple of years ago. So let's quickly see. We have our own business and a personal income in the business of 60,000 rand. We pay a lot of tax. How can I pay less tax? Can I let businesses pay for groceries or expenses? Please help me. Mendelt, you've got to be really careful here because if you make lots of money, you're going to pay lots of tax. So that's just the way it is. But if you're earning, let me quickly see, 60,000 rand, so just looking at this tax calculator over here, so I mean, even if you earn your capacity, personal capacity 60,000 rand, then there won't be any tax that you have to pay. So if you're making 60,000 rand, just take the money out in your personal name, there won't be any tax that you've got to pay in any case. Groceries and expenses, you've got to be really careful to put business or personal expenses through business accounts. It's probably the worst thing that you could ever do to your business because you don't know how much money you're spending out of the business. At the end of the year, you have to add all that stuff up and then you're going to have to pay tax on it in any case. If you try and put it through as business expenses and SARS catches you out, they're going to reverse those expenses, make you pay 28% company tax on that, plus they're going to give you penalties and interest because you try and put personal expenses through a business account. So there's nothing good about that. It's like smoking. That's just bad. Please don't do that. Don't put personal expenses through a business account. That's just bad. There's nothing good about that. SARS money. I've just been hired for a new contract that's going to push me into a tax bracket. How do I register as a new taxpayer? So Greta, what you need to do is you go into the e-filing page. If you go to the SARS page, I'm just trying to think if you want to register as a taxpayer, or did you say do you want to register as for e-filing? Let's quickly see. Register as a new taxpayer. I almost think that if you had to go to the e-filing registration, this button over here that says register. Here, if you go through these steps over here, you can actually register as a taxpayer if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to create your profile, go through the steps over here. They're going to ask for some documents, a copy of your ID, proof of address, proof of bank details, and then after that will actually give you a tax number. I've seen somewhere that you can get your tax registration straight from there. So that will be the best place to go fiddle around a bit over there. So that is maybe something that I could actually do a video on. How to explain UIF. Lenka Mujau, yes, yeah. If you assisting people with UIF, then maybe just send me a message, or we can just touch base and just see what the story is there, what the services is that you want to render to other people as well. Greta, I took the area around my desk in my bedroom with a bookshelf and a printing table, only 5 square meters, but I consider that as a fitted office. Is that correct? So that's the thing, as they say, that space must be 100% just for business purposes. So even the office that I'm sitting over here, I've got a desk over here, I've got a chair, my office chair, I've got my printer and all that stuff over here. So this is purely dedicated for business purposes. I remember in the past they used to do office inspections where they would actually come out if they find that they've got like magazines or your child's doing homework and stuff inside the area. They say, sorry, it can't be used as a business. So I don't think you're going to come right with this. So just be really, really careful. I would rather not try and claim it, because if they catch you, you might run into trouble with them. Quickly, see Alison. Question for the month-end video. I'm working as a freelancer and work for foreign clients. My first question is, how can I register myself to declare that I do earn an income so I can open things like accounts and etc. So obviously, if you register on e-filing and you're trading as a, let's call it a sole proprietor, you need to keep record of your income and your expenses, and then on your personal tax return you need to declare that income and expenses. Go check out that video that I did on how does income tax work, because it will give you like a timeline of when things are due at the receiver of revenue and stuff. And then, because normally the banks, if you had to go do, let's say for instance, do you want to apply for finance, they're going to ask you for bank statements, let's say for 3 or 6 months, but they want a document from SARS, which they call an IT-34, which is almost like the invoice that they send you where you've got to pay taxes. So the amount that shows in your bank account, you've got to put the same amount on that IT-34 as well, you see. So it would be wise to get a tax consultant to help you with that. Secondly, I would like to know if I'm only required to pay taxes if I earn above a certain amount per year. I hope to see the questions. Thanks in advance. Yeah. So just once again, if you go to these rates of individuals, you can see that these are the tax tables that they have to pay tax on, but you can see over here is the thresholds. So the current year, if you earn more than 91,000 per year, then you're going to start paying 18% tax. And then if you're older than 65, that amount, and then you can see it goes according to these tables per year. So for every year, so if you're earning 50,000 per month, you'll fall inside this bracket. So then you've got to take this 115,000 Rand plus 36,000 above that amount, and then divide that by 12, then you can see what the amount is that you have to put away on a monthly basis. So there's different ways to do it, but go check out that video of how does income tax work. It's that answered the question over there. Yes, he's on Instagram, Jack Tools. Awesome, man. I love the name. I was defrauded of a large sum of money on cryptocurrency platform, but I was lucky to meet a man with a name up here as my YouTube channel username who helped me to recover. Now, come on, don't advertise other people's stuff on my channel. I really don't appreciate the comments like this. I'm just gonna remove you. Cool. Next one. Do you have an email address where I can contact you and anyone in Pretoria from your department? So just remember that I don't work for the Department of Labour. I do my own videos. So I've got an accounting practice. I'm not from the Department of Labour. If you want to search Department of Labour, you'll see that there's a contact number where you can search, where you can contact them. Can you unreconcile on Sage? There's a difference on my client Sage. I found that she didn't reconcile all the transactions, but she reconciled the bank already. So whether it's reconciled or not, you can still go and delete the transactions if there's duplicates and stuff. So it's not even necessary to go redo the reconciliation. Just quickly show you. If you go into your banking transactions, this report, and you go to this one, this is banking credit card transactions. This is the one that we use to see whether the accounts balance. So we would normally go through this report over here, check the bank balance over here. So if we see that there's extra transactions, then we would obviously go into the banking and just go to delete those transactions, and that's the way that you would find whether the bank account balance is. So the bank recon screen itself, I'm not fond of the way that Sage works. I'd rather just go to the bank, go to banking reports, bank account transactions, and go through that, because there you've got a running balance of what's happening inside the bank account. So it's much easier just to do it there. Let's quickly see. Garth, if you work as a partner in a general physician practice where the practice is already paying VAT, must the junior partner also pay VAT? Yeah, so remember, normally the partnership itself would be registered for VAT somewhere. So one of the partners would be registering for VAT, and then obviously the money would go through that partnership. So I think all of them would fall under the same thing, because both of them are part of the same partnership. Yeah, so I would say that you would also have to register for VAT. Lucy, which video was that? Cool, the updating with the representative. Awesome. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it. So I think, yeah, there's my quick comments for this month. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I did a couple of cool things on the last month, and there's a couple of cool things coming as well. I'm planning to redo some of my very old videos, because I was looking at it the other day and I actually got a bit of a fright of the quality of some of those videos. So I'll be redoing some of my stuff. Thanks for watching, and keep on liking those videos and keep on hitting the subscribe button. Cool, man. Chat later. Bye.